This is how my D&D party spent their time last session in the Underdark. Yep, it was time to send them spelunking, so let's see how they did. We started off with about 18% of our time spent saving a silly little automaton. The party found an abandoned mineshaft, and under some of the rubble was a little robot guy who had been down there just trying to dig up ore. There was a code that could be typed in to disable his mining protocols and let the little guy live a happy life. And instead of figuring out the code, they just sort of brute force tried every single combination of numbers on his keypad. I'm sure that that wasn't traumatic for the little robot at all. Then, at about 7% of our time, we've got walking on a waterfall ceiling. I gave the party rogue a cloak that let them walk on the ceiling, and they found a waterfall in a cave, so they just had to give it a try. It basically went like this. Cool, let's keep going. After our very important waterfall break, we've got about 9% of our time definitely not pissing off a purple worm. You know, the party found a big old hole in the ground and went, wow, I'm sure that's a natural hole, and threw a couple rocks down into it. And then the druid went, that might be a purple worm nest. And so they just walked away and didn't resolve that issue at all. And I'm sure that that will not come back to haunt them in any way, shape, or form. The party then stumbled into a Dwagar settlement, and so we have about 30% of our time spent in a Dwagar smutty bookstore. In the party's defense, they can't read Undercommon, so they didn't know it was a smutty bookstore. However, in the opposite of the party's defense, there were picture books, and they did spend a decent amount of time looking through the picture books. We've then got about 25% of our time sneaking drugs into the Dwagar castle. You might be asking, Tater, what was the benefit of sneaking the drugs into the Dwagar castle? Absolutely none. There was literally no reason to sneak the drugs into the castle, but we did it because we could. And finally, our last 18% of our D&D session was spent intimidating another librarian. If you have watched a few of these, you might know that intimidating librarians is becoming a theme for my party. And I just don't understand it, because every time there's a library, they have to go to it, but then every time they get there, they beef with the librarian. That's how they spent their time in the Underdark. Okay, bye.